Hey, namaskar everyone. This is Shourov and you're welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. So this is going to be on the same boarding series. So yeah, I was actually downloaded this image as my and used it as my desktop wallpaper. So yeah, let's come back to the point again on the video topic. So in this video, this is going to be also a part of that boring series where we are going to code live, and we'll keep it as raw as possible without any unnecessary cuts so that you can watch me struggling while coding and making systems. So as you know, in my previous video, I have already implemented few of the things, and as it's a very private project, so it's confidential, so I cannot show you each and every aspects of that project. So I just need to filter out a lot of things. So that is why I'm not sharing with you the every line of codes. So yeah, I'm just only sharing with you the things that can be actually shareable in a short term. So yes, so let me open up my editor. I have already opened up my JED editor. It can be different for you, and as it's not going to be a spoon and feed tutorial, so I guess you understand what kind of content it is. And if you are not kind of a guy who loves to watch coding or hate, I mean, how can I express this feeling towards you? If you are kind of a guy who like vibe coder, then I would say that this is not the channel best for you. So you can live without any hesitation. And yeah, without talking too much, let's get started. So let me start my server, and I would also like to have my front end. This is built on top of Tauri. And if you are following this series, then I guess you already knew it. Yeah. And the usual dogs started barking, so I guess they're not going to stop anytime very soon, or so. Yes, please consider them. So I think in last video we did something called adding organization or something like that, but I have moved to the subscriptions, adding things. I mean, not subscription actually. It's should be a it's not that. It should be a can I say it should be a date only. Okay, so let me change it first. First thing first, we need to change it that we have just noticed here. It should be inside the tender panels. Create tender. Why not to open it up in a full view? So it should exist here. And yes, we got it. It should be dead, just dead, normal dead, without any fancy names. Okay. Yes, and it is not getting it, so it's you're sending request to URL this thing. So I guess there are some problems. I need to fix it. Let's open up our Bruno, and let's see if it is here or not. So sending connection errors. So I guess we did something really bad and failed to connect to DB. Okay, because we didn't open up our Postgres. Let's open it up and rerun our Rust server. Let's restart it in a simple term. Okay. So it's taking a little bit of time. Yes. Now it should be here. Let's reload it. Still not here. Then there might be some problems. Yes, yeah, unable to verify the token. So yes, I guess there is nothing in our database. I was but I think there should be, right? I think we should open it up. Let's open up our PG admin. So for testing purposes, I was jumping from one platform to another platform. Obviously, the core was built on top of Postgres. That is why I was testing out all of the available options offered by some servers. It is from Azure, and this thing is not available anymore. I have dropped it, and this is our raw Postgres in the PPR database test and PPR DB. I guess there is nothing. There is nothing. So yeah, let's open up our code editor. Create SQLX micro run. Okay, now let me rerun that command. Migrate run, and it's running simply without any problem. Well, what's the database name? Let me see it. Yeah, test. This is the database. I want to see if there is any users available or not. And let me run it. There is a user available here. But I think why it is not working, right? Let me run it again so that our server up and yeah, it is up now. Our server is up, and need to reopen our Tauri. Add should be, yeah, this is not existing. This part was a Azure thing, so I think we should go back, log out, and open up Shourov@gmail.com. I think we should this password should be the same thing as I can remember, and it is, and we're inside. Fine. So here you can see the tenders and things are into work. Tender organizations, and yeah. Let's create another tender number. Let's fake it with random dummy text and have the two drop down jails that can be selectable, and we can also select the date from here. We can simply create it, and one thing is that for creating this tender is exist. It's pretty much okay, but the thing is that after on successful creation, it should give us an option to view that tender list, or just simply we should not redirect to the all tenders view page without the permission of the client. So we always need to ask them that the tender has been created successfully, but let me know if you want to visit there or not to see all the available tenders out there in your application. So you need to implement this right now. So just gonna close all. Okay. Now let's open up our all tenders. Not all tenders, in the create tenders. In the create tenders, you just going to see this, the success. This is the part where we need to work on. This can be null. Still we need to watch it. So think res.masses, and the description. Do you have any title? No. Description. This description need to be. Let's not add any description. Instead, we can use a directly action button here. This action button can be something like a button or something. Yeah, button. View all tenders. And we don't have any linking option here, although we can use it, but I don't think so. In this case, we need to do it. We can simply redirect them programmatically by using on-click function. Think here what I am actually searching is not here, so I need to create it. Const router, use router, and this router instance can be really useful here. Navigate to some place in our application that is all tenders, not products, all tenders. Yeah, let me check it if it is working or not. I'm just using some random things, selecting the jail. If we click it, you can see that view all tenders. This is working quite okay. Now let me click on it, and here we go. We're in this place. That's pretty thing. And one thing is that this button is looking pretty ugly compared to that sonar that is popping up with the toast masses. In ChatCN it is called sonar. So to make it even, we can specify the size as small. Now if you are going to create a new tender, it should be a little smaller than others. So tender has been created. This is not so good, so you can see it later. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Let me create a few more too. 1 2. Now it should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and I think we can go back as well for creating another one. Now this pagination should kick in. Yeah, see, this pagination has been kicked in. You can go here and see this. This is working. Okay, if you come back, you can see everything, almost everything is pretty instant here because we're using query client from TanStack Query client. Okay, I mean TanStack Query. Well, that is a shifting thing, and what we need to implement is right now an action button so that we can view this particular tender details, or we can edit it later. It's completely up to us. So we cannot use the data table anymore. If you see that this is the inbuilt function to search everything here. For example, if you wanna see that G or AE, oh my bad, it is quite nasty. No data found really. So I think it should be jail name at no. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you can see that. All on this. Fine. Now what we can do is showing a simple thing, and there are a lot of unnecessary fields that are here which we do not need to render. We can surely remove them by going to this bid price, and this prices should not be, they're not so much important at this level, but you can take it. I don't think so this notice number is that much important in this case. Status is okay, the organization is trying to bid on it is okay, created by is not required here. It's the date is required, and you can simply come here. Where is the data table? Yeah, you got this data table, and if you can see that the things are looking really cleaner right now. This open jail, change the number with price. Yeah. This is kind of thing. Fine. The date. This is the time. So on. It's going. The bidder is not available. So if this bidder is not available, then what we should do? And I think let me create it from scratch. So let's open up our browser and visit ChatSim. And now let me open up the thing is data table. I think this should be here, and we got it. This is the data table, and in this example we can see that there is a action button that is visible here. We need this kind of things. So this is the columns, email status, and yeah, that is powerful, pretty powerful, man. Okay, yes. Let me say it. Pagination is no, I don't need it. What else we can do? Data table page.tsx. This documentation is completely referring to use Next.js, but we're not using it. We are using TanStack and plain React. So this is the basic table where we can see a column div has been defined with its fields and headers, and this is the data table. Okay. Mm, fine, very fine. This thing, config. Do you have any custom here? Reusable components. So action. Do you have any action here? Oops, my bad. Actions. Yeah, have the row actions. In this column, you can see a drop down. Buttons are visible. The ID actions. How this is going to work, I don't know. So in the columns cell, let me import these two things in our application level. Fine. Now let me see this thing. I'm just going to copy this. Oops. I'm just going to copy this. We need to read it that update our column definition to add a new actions column. Actions column. The actions cell returns a drop-down menu. So this need to be the actions cell. Okay. I think this should be at the end of it. Fine. And this is the row. Real quickly, I can simply add it with any. Yes. Now, if we open up our application, we should see this. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice thing. But this is not exactly what we're going to see in the actions. Payment and this things, narrator clipboard, payment ID. This is the payment row.original. I want to see something. What it is returning, console.log row, and what it is returning, I need to see it. Copy this. So we're getting values cached, the ID, and a lot of things are here. Tender number. This tender number is unique as well. I can use on it. You can query it. All right. So the ID is 9. The original. Yeah, I need the original, and in this original we can get this ID as well. Yeah. So if we come here and get original.id, then we should see the individual IDs of particular tenders. That is quite interesting. And this should not be payment. This should be a tender. Sorry, bad. Tender. Oops. Tender ID. And this tender ID can be this thing. We don't need that console anymore. And this ID, we don't need any drop down. Maybe, yes, drop down is required. Okay, so see the actions. see actions. This is quite open. This is the ID and navigator clipboard. Why did you get this negative? Oh, it's built in, so we don't need this. Should arc on something like view tender and it's my bad to menu item. View tender details and separator, which we think, okay, let it be, and let me copy this part so that I can reuse it. And it's my bad. Oops. Okay, so this new keyboard is little bit off for me right now. I need to used to it very slowly. I'm using with it very slowly. So yeah, what we can see is modify tender. Modify the tender. Yes, these are the two things that we can see here. Okay, now if we click on it, you can see this. Find this tender details. Tender. I think this makes more this makes more easy to set. We don't need this sections, C options or something like that. Actions, visual, okay. We don't need this. Main label. Level is not required. Now we can see this two are getting really nice. We need to see how it's looking in light mode. Can see it definitely. Fine, can definitely open up the light mode and try to see everything, if it's here or not, up to the mark or not. You can see that it's looking quite nice. And the tenders, you can see all the tenders are level here, and you can move from here to there. See, everything is okay. Now let me turn on the dark mode because my eyes are popping out. And fine. What else we did here? We don't need this level, and then we don't need this tender ID as if not. Okay, it is required actually because we need to navigate to a particular page. Due to that, we need this tender ID. So let me keep it now. Okay, so I'm gonna tender panel, and let's open up a new file. Or in this TanStack router thing, it is configured such a way that every files and folders are going to be considered as a router, not a router. It's going to be considered as a route. So let me create a new folder. Yeah, it's better to create a new folder called tender. You can also use flat routes as well. Why not? Right? So the flat routes, we can say that tender details dot id dot tsx. Well, so this is going to give us the ID. So now let's open up TanStack Router, open up the route. If you are not familiar with flat routing, then I can explain you, like, I guess you already heard about Remix.js, which was a React framework, but currently it is deprecated and it's repackaged with React Router v7 framework mode. So in Remix, it very first it introduced the flat route, and that thing was kind of pretty evolutionary. So I love that thing. So you can see that we have the file naming conventions, file-based routing. This file-based routing, we have flat routes. In the flat routes, see that we can actually name our files that this way. The first thing is posts. You can take it as the root layout of that particular post, and further it's going to deep dive into the ID, and this ID is going to be dynamic. That is why it's included with a $sign, and we can access it from a loader, and you can mix it like that. If you want to learn more, I will come up with a new video on it, not very soon actually. So yes, what we need to see is now the loaders thing, data loading. This data loading, you can see that route params parse. This is the params, and component preload params. How we can get it? Simply come here and add a loader. And this loader can be used like this. We have this params, and can return this param. Oops, my bad. Return this as tender, my bad, ID params dot ID. Okay, so why we are not fetching our details here? Because I decided to use TanStack Query instead of the router's native loader function. So it's not going to give us the caching functionality which is available in TanStack Router. So let's come here, and if you want to see that in action, if you are getting it or not, then simply remove all of it, TEN your tender ID, and to access this particular thing, we can get it by defining it here, route dot use loader data, and it's type safe. That is where we're getting the hints, and here we go. Now let's come here, and in this tender ID, now this is the time to use tender ID. Let me copy it and to view the tender. That was a typo here. Now the router is also not available. Oh, my bad. So you should not let me not use this here. get is columns. So instead, can use direct links, I guess, from TanStack Router. And 2 is going to be tender ID. Well, params. See, this is really type-safe. Now we can see it. Let me open up the Tauri, go to the dashboard, all the tenders. Now if we come here, it is working. This is working really nicely, and here we go. Now what we need is let me initialize and mention a to-do here so that I can work on it later on the upcoming videos, obviously here, because this is not going to be that much confidential to update or making some CRUD applications, CRUD functionality in the application. So I can definitely share this kind of contents with you from the real production grade code. So need to work here. That now I need to move one to the Rust backend server. Close all. Let me come here and open up the source handlers, the tender. I don't want to show you all the things. Just get tender details by ID handler. We don't need any inputs here. Okay, we're just getting a particular thing. So how we can do it? We need to make this function as public. Then obviously, as we're going to use a SQLX and so much things that are going to be asynchronous, that is why it must need to be async. And it's a function, that is why we're writing it as a function. Get tender details handler. Now the heart of this, it requires the app state. Yes, thanks for co-piloting me. And this is the use case of AI according to me. It's smarter, it's going to make you productive instead of replacing you. We have already seen a lot of cases where vibe coders destroying the database in production and the companies are bankrupted. Well, so we need the params. I guess, what is the params? Let me open up Safari. We need to see the Axum Rust framework as we're using it as our backend. We need to see the extractor. Extensions, no. I need to see how the params work here. Let me see raw path params, missing params, then the structures, extractor. Let me see if any extractor is here or not. I think set extractor. Let's see if we have any Oh well, this is not what I was looking for. Raw path params. What can see is the extractor. The extractors. This is the path. Okay. So path gives you the path parameters and deserialize system. Okay. This is exactly what we need. This is not going to be called as params. Instead, it is called path. Okay. So let's implement it here. Path, and it's not going to be the standard path. It's going to be as a some extract path. Okay, we need the tender ID. This is going to be tender ID, and path. It's going to be a string, obviously. Yes, isn't it? Yes. Now let me return something, result, and it's going to return a string or a error model. Okay, to hello, to string. Now let's copy this. Okay, so I need to debug it. dbg tender ID. Let's come to the routers. I need to reuse another get method where tender details, and here you can see how the path params actually looks like path. Oops, path. Okay, so this is the extractor path. See this extractor that will get capture from the URL and parse them using Serde. Path, and this path can be used like this thing, and should be initialized with curly braces. Okay, so we need to do this tender ID. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to open up our Bruno. Let's clone it. It's my bad to name it as get tender details. Oh, what I am doing. Get tender details. Clone it. Fine. This is not the products. Should be get tenders. Get tenders. Sorry. So my microphone just dropped from the table. That was nice of it. I think everything is okay and recording is still going on. Yes. Fine. So now let's see tender list. It's not tender list anymore. It should be what we have initialized it, tender details. Tender details and then the ID of it. For example, a tender ID that is named like this. Okay, just gonna copy it and able to decode the token again, obviously because it is also protected with tokens. As you can see that it's here, the authentication middleware has been placed between the client request and our handler. So it is not giving us permission to process further to the handler. So let's, to test it, can log in and give the token that can help us to go through that authentication middleware. And I think failed to deserialize the query string, missing the ID field. So this should not. Why this is happening? Because we didn't change our handler. This handler need to be changed. So tender, get tender details handler. Yes, and this portion is not required. Oops, my bad. This portion is not required. And let's reload and recompile everything, and we got another error. Abstract, but this is not what. Okay, get the handler. This handler is pub sync error model. Okay, and the abstract. This is just error, nothing else. So the top level handler required by a bound in the function required by, okay. Think this is not that bad at all, but okay, let me push it like this. Okay, let's send a unit from here and get tender details. It's not used, so let me copy it, paste it here, and this is not working for some reasons. To print the full type name to the console. The error originates in the macro top level handler and could not compile it. Well, this should not happen here. Public, but this is okay. Do we need any status code or what is the error? Let me see the documentation again. Let me remove it for a while and see if it is a thing or not. No, this is not the reason for the error. I think this error, consider using the following other types traits, and the thing is, let me create status code. Status code dot okay. Fine. What was this thing is vault tender details. I think the problem is not here. Problem should exist at that place, because you can see this is working quite nicely, and this is a get method, and this is get tender details by ID handler. This ID handler get tender details. Is this public? Yeah, it is. And I guess some peer model. Get tender details. Tender handler. Get tender details. And this part is usually not required. And let me see. Yes, the error was existing in this place. It requires at least JSON as the error model, so this it is need to be serialized, and that is why. And it is itself a abstract. Okay, that is why it requires some extra configuration. For example, it need a midway using JSON to be sent to the client. Fine, now let's open up our Bruno, and if we run it, you can see that the 200 has been sent as a status code of our request. So yeah, that is kind of a thing, and here we get the ID. Now this is a pretty important part. We need to open up a tender. Just copy this as a tender ID, and in the Bruno, can simply test with this particular tender ID, and if we run it, it's returning, and we can see that the tender ID which we just added in with our path parameter is visible on our terminal in this line. So next thing is quite easy. We need to use this app state to make an instance of database. As the database is mutex, that is why I need to lock it so that other services cannot use this database at this particular moment to await, and you can make a clone of it. That is it. So if you're using Z, then you need to enable this inline hits. But in VS Code, it is automatically configured for you. You don't need to worry about it. You can see the types are here. You can see it pretty much fine. Now we need a SQLX. Then we need to query it, and this query need to be little raw. Then I need a fetch on. Oops, my bad. Fetch on, not all. And this thing requires the executor, which is our database instance. We need a await, as it's asynchronous. Then we need to map the errors if any error occurred during this operation. And for better verbosability, we need to debug that error in this development server. But in production, we can simply avoid them or comment out them and use a service called Sentry. So let's return as an error in this case. Why not to make it like this? Okay, let's keep it simple. Error model, error message. This message is something went wrong, and it's a string. That is it. Yeah, here we go. Now we need to make the query. The query need to be like select PG admin. Let's open up this, and we can say tenders. Run it. Let's see this. That's pretty okay. Now where ID is equal to what? This ID. Why I am writing it here, just to make sure everything is working as expected. If we run it, where is this? Simply copy this part. Through copying it, we can paste it here in our SQL. And this ID need to be dynamic, and we need to bind it with our tender ID with this value. That's pretty nice thing. And can use response or row as well. And now we can see that row details. Yeah. Let's come here to test out our Bruno, and oh my bad, this is not. Let's open up our Bruno, run it. Something went wrong. Well, definitely something must be wrong here. So operator does not exist here. Text, this should not be text, right? So I think we need to keep it as UUID. Now this should work. Let's see. Yeah, it is working, and here we can see that the P0 has been reflected on our terminal. And this is not the thing that I'm going to use right now, because you can see that status is still not working. The bid winner, the bid price, and these things are not so organized. So we need a few more things. Left join. Well, in this case, we need another thing. For example, yeah, we can reuse it. Let's come here. For the sake of simplicity, we can simply reuse it. Just copy this part, and just copy the entire part and paste it here instead. So this select this from here, where oops, my bad, from SD, where t.id is equal to 1. Now let's see how it returns. Something went wrong. Must be left join. Well, so there is something that is okay, kind of weird syntax here near left. So I guess at this place maybe. But how? Where t.id, the t is the tenders, id is equal to 1. Syntax here at near this thing. Just gonna copy this so that I can debug it here in the PG admin. See, this is not a easy task. This is really not an easy task. You can see that the left join organizations as O on OID is T dot bid winner. Think we need to cut this, and if we cut this out, this is working. Let's run it again. Oops, my bad. It's need to be done here. First of all, I need to test it very nicely and run it. Yes, it is working, and can simply copy this out right now. Let's copy it, paste it in our code, and replace this with the dynamic ID is on. Now if we are going to run it, it should return 200. Okay, and we got this ID, tender number, and a lot of things with its populated data. Well, now let's come here as query as. This query as is going to be have inferred a type called tender. This is the tender. Now instead of row, this should be done as standard details. Now let's test it on more time. Let's run it. Let's run. Okay, now you can see it's not P0 anymore. It is standard now. Well, so we did it. What we need to do now is create a extract to tender details res. Here we need to specify the field public tender details, and this is going to be a tender. Okay, but this is not enough. We need to use some macro for serializing it. That is okay. Now we need some bad serialize status code, then JSON global response, and the data should be use this generic, right? Status code, paste it here. Think yes, that is fine. Now we need to find a way to work on this here. So it need to be a double status code internal server error, and this need to be JSON global response, and then data, this need to be null as it's giving us the error. This part has been done. Not quite done. Needs some, as it's optional, so it needs some here. Fine, so we need to work on this here again. JSON global storage data. Now this data is going to be this thing with some, obviously, error details. Sorry, not error details, it should be the tender details, and it is there, so we don't need it. None. There you go. This tender details has been moved because we are using it here, so this dropped at that time, so the ownership has been changed. That is why it was showing us errors. Okay, so now if you run it, here you go, data and the details of that tender, and error is nothing. So yes, that is the thing. Now we need to work on our front end as well. To open up the Tauri. It's been a long time. So in Tauri, we have seen this Tinder. Where is it? Yeah, I got it. Tinder handler. It's for the smart get Tinder details, and we need a public function. It should be a synchronous function. Fn get Tinder details command, and we need to specify some macros for simply Tauri command. Okay, we need another thing, that is, oops, my bad, we need to stop this, otherwise it's going to interrupt us so many times. Handler, yeah, this is the part that need to be copy and use in our system. I mean, not system, here in this place. So yes, and Tauri doesn't support only serialize or deserialize. If you're using on, you just need to specify the other thing as well. For example, if you only need deserialize, then specify it, and with it you also need to specify the serialize. Okay, this is how Tauri works right now. We need the app as app handle. We need the store, let store to get the token from our system. So store builder, then need to get a new, and this manager requires this, and the path of that store, this is auth.session. Here we're not using any hold. The hold is kind of really hard and secure as well, but it took a little bit of more time, which is a trade-off of that thing. So we are not using that strong hold. Okay, if you open up our browser, there you go, you can see Tauri app guides. If you come here in the plugins, you'll be able to see a stronghold. That is kind of a very secure thing, but in this case we are not using it because of its trade-offs. Well, so now to build and then simply unwrap it. Yeah. As usual, you can open up the inlay hints. If let's some auth token, if it's here, then store dot get auth token as key, and oops, my bad, as key, and if this token is here, then I need to convert it to a string token, then auth token dot as string, and OKR, so it's going to return error model. It's my bad, error message something, oops, my bad, typo went wrong, no string, yeah, and let's return some result. First of all, should be this thing, but for now let's not use it, simply return the error model. Fine, then else should also return the error model if the token is not found. Or simply please log in. Okay, what we have done here, I don't know. I guess we need a okay here. So yes, we got the error. It should be returned as error. Now it should not give us any warning or error messages. Now what we need to specify a client. Request dot client new client dot get the URL, then your token. This is the token. Then we need to send it. Okay, send it. Need to await it. Then we can simply map the errors. Error model. This error model can be error message, unable to fetch the tender details. Simply coming back. Yeah, done. We are not going to make the same mistakes. Simply copy this and I'm gonna make a URL. It's a format macro. Let's use it. And here, instead of this hard-coded, instead of this hard-coded value, we're going to name it as tender ID. Tender ID. And here you can get an input called tender ID. This is going to be a string as well. Tender ID. Now this URL is ready to use. And it's going to give us a response. And this response, it will have a let data is going to, oops, my bad. Let sum I guess, yeah. Let data is going to have response.json dot await map error, and this error just copy this, paste it here. I need to debug this error as well. Return the error if anything happened wrong. And here we are not debugging it. This is a bad thing for now in this development. Well, so what we need this data, this data is going to be our global response. Global response with this generic data type. Fine. Now if, my bad, oh sorry, if let some error is there and data dot error is there, then simply return that error. Oops, my bad. Error. Yes. What is this? Error model. This error should be come from here. And for this, I can simply copy this, paste it out here, and let's come to use this as data.wrap. Yeah, we got it. Now let's copy this thing, register it in our invoke handler. Oops, my bad. I'm just going to copy it, paste it here, just copy it. Let's open up our Tauri source. In the utils, we have the tender utils. Let's come here, initialize, get tender details, export const get tender details by ID, and it's synchronous tender ID. Oops, tender ID. Tender ID. This need to be a string, and then it is simple const res invoke coming from Tauri and the invoke command. And what we need is pretty simple. Well, let's see the tender ID. Tender ID. This is how it works, right? I guess tender ID. This is how we mentioned it there. Await, catch here. This is returning an error. Throw new error dot error masses. Yeah, wet, then return response. Oops, my bad. I just need to console.log it, the response. Then simply come here in the tender ID. You need to initialize the const router query. Use query, then key, I guess, query key. Yeah, query key. And is tender details, tender ID details, and tender ID for make it unique, and query function. We need to make it as callback, get tender details by ID, and here we need to pass the tender ID. And this is how it works. And here we can get a data, error, and is loading. And that is fine. Now instead of this, you can simply run is loading. If is loading is true, then do something else too. If it is loading, then I'm going to just show a loading icon, and otherwise let's create another fragment where we need to see if the error exists. Dot message actually. If it is exist, then do something. Let's do something. If error exists, then this should. Oops, my bad. This should be rendered the error message. Otherwise, this should return, and oops, my bad. Return dynamic JSON dot stringify data. Yeah. Let's run it again. Let's cross our finger. Fine. So where is our application? Here we go. You can see it. Let's come to the tenders. Let's come here, view tender, and here we go. We have tender details and this thing. Fine. Now let's come here. You can see that I guess it should be inside the console. No? Yeah. You can see this. Query data cannot be defined. Make sure the return value other than yes, it required the return value. So the tenders has this thing. Well done. Data is undefined. So I think, yeah. How we can, so simply let's use AI in this case. So we have the tender details, right? So let's not use it. Let's come here. Not like this. Just simply copy this. Open up our AI. Where is it? Let's come here. Gemini, and make a type CLIPT interface of this. Well, we got this thing. Just copy this and paste it out here. This should be the response. Just copy it, paste it out here. Then this should be as this. This should be the response, right? Yes. We don't tender data, right? We don't need this. This part is not required. So tender data. This should be tender data. and let's remove it. Promise. Tender data. Now if we come here, do we have anything else? Tender query function, this thing, this is void. I guess why this is void. Let's open it up, reload it. Query data cannot be undefined. Please make sure to return a value other than defined from your query function. Tender details. Now this should be tender details. Tender details. Tender details. Fine. This is not the data is required, but return should be tender details. Oops, my bad. Tender details. Now get tender ID. Tender ID, it's a promise, and it's undefined. It's great. This is pretty unusual. Tender space query function. This, yeah, I got it. It's not returning anything, so it needs to be returned from here. Now it should give us the tender details. Now if we simply reload this, loading, let's not fall for errors. I don't know what happened. Do we have the data? Yeah, we should have this data. Dot jail. Yes. Now let's go tenders. Okay. Let's come here. Console.log. Start tender details. Why this is returning the tenders? Should return the tender details. Tender details. Tank. Tender details by ID. Tender ID. What we are getting here? Well, it's the tender util command. I think we're not getting it, to be honest. Let's see how. Where is it? Very good. Tender ID. So string result. Let's say if we are getting is debug tender ID. Let's debug this tender ID. I know it's going to. It's been a while. It's a long video, but I think let's come here. Why it is like this? Tender details. Tender command. Live.rs. Everything is okay. So local API tender one. Not bad. Let's come here. See some errors if there. Tender details util. Let's see. Well, now let's go to the view tender. Let's come here. Tender ID, tender details. It is quite. I don't know how, but is everything okay? Let me see it here. Yes, it is working. Copy this. Let's come here in the tender handler. Tender ID. Let's see here. Okay, let's go for Tauri. If I'm making some mistakes or not. Think calling Rust from frontend. Okay. CMD inputs. How can we get the inputs? So URI, my bad, it's URL, and run this server again. It's taking more than a long time. Let's go here. Well, let's copy this. We are making typos. It should be here. Tender details. Tender ID. So just copy this. Paste it here. Remove this. This is the pretty much same thing. So what is the problem here? I think is that the invoking problem. Invoke get tender details command, tender ID. Let's see if this is the case. Yeah, that was the case. Now we can see it is here. So what was the case? Because in the tender handler, you can see we have mentioned that tender ID is here, and by default, using Surday, it is camel casing it. I mean, from front end, it should be camel case, and in the back end, it will make it as a snake case. Okay, this is the explanation I can give you right now, and this is a simple sale. And if you go to the tender details, can do more things, I guess. Yeah, so let me view data dot tender number. Can simply copy this, paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it. Tender number, it's my bad. Notice number, then created by date, jail, organization. So these are the few options that you can see, and if you go here, tenders, this case, see, everything is working quite nice. So in the upcoming videos, I mean in next video, I may come up with a better design. It is just a structural thing, and I will come up with a new design, or I may also make the design in front of you like this video. And yeah, thank you. This was a pretty big video, and if you like this video, make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe this channel and share this video with your friends and loved and dear ones. Thank you. Good night. Namaskar.